You are off. Furiously, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Alright, y'all. I'm going to do my spiel, so let's see if it has any impact on folks coming into the room. Folks outside the room, my name is Leanne. I'm a printmaker and an illustrator, and this morning I am working on the printmaking side. I am carving lino. I need to get this done. I've been working on this for far too long and I need to finish it. Good morning, Glow. Good morning, Black Lotus. So I am going to be carving my doors today again because I need to make sure that the doors are done. I need to get going with this. It's taking far too long. Oh, what's happening over here? Oh. It's taking far too. You said those people outside of the room are checking out the beautiful stuff. Eventually they'll come in, Black Lotus. I hear you. Tanya and Glow, thank you for getting your heart me's. And as usual, y'all, you know how this works. If you have questions, feel free to drop the questions in the chat. Even if the questions are not about about printmaking, feel free to drop any questions you have in the chat, because if I don't know the answer, someone in the chat probably will. And thanks for getting your heart, me, Black Lotus. Someone in the chat probably will, and we can have a discussion about it. So, right, y'all, I'm going to focus on these doors. I'm almost done with this one. I will need to just go in and double check at some point some tiny crevices to make sure that set up properly, but otherwise I'm done with that one. So I'm going to move on to this after. I just need to do these in here, and then I'll move on, and then we can get through some of the others. Let me just do this also, because I definitely hit that go live button before. It's so funny. It's like you hit the button and I was like, oh, I wasn't supposed to do the second hitting of the button. But I'm already, what's happening over there? I'm about to do. How much do they want me to talk? TikTok is like yelling at me about not talking. They want me to run my mouth, y'all. Y'all, I'm just trying to do some warming up activities. Getting us to tapped up. And I'm gonna be saying random printmaking words. TikTok, send folks into the room that are interested in printmaking, in relief printing, block printing, Linocut, carving Linocuts, Linocut for beginners. TikTok, send folks that are starting an art practice, interested in watching art. Y'all, this is funny. Let's see what happens in the next 15 minutes. It usually takes about 15 minutes to sink in. y'all don't mind the things that I'm saying. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Remember that I'm just gonna carve. Precious, how was your practice yesterday? You said it sounds like a prayer. That's what they want from us. That is what they want from us. They want us in a place where we are like, um, we're like desperate to, we're like desperate. I mean, there's no other word. It's, I was saying it last night in our meeting. It's like, it's a toxic relationship we have here. We have a toxic relationship here. Trust me, I am in a very contemplative state about this toxic relationship. So y'all, I'm getting my tools out. Tell me about this. You know, I had only added the third view for the purpose of because we have been talking about it in my agency manager's room, and I had only added the third view just so that folks could see that there are other things that you could do. But y'all, I kind of like having the 3 views. I need to put it over on the YT too. I don't mind this, y'all. What do y'all think? Because I can always change. And if you want me to change the angle of this view here, let me know. Or if something is blocking something, let me know. Oh yeah, today I feel like, I don't know, I feel productive today. We'll have a lot of productivity today, y'all. We're gonna get far today. I feel it in my bones. I'm going too fast though. I just realized that because I'm excited about getting stuff done, I'm going way too fast. Well, let me know if I need to change the angle on this one, because this one is easy to adjust. This one too, but so I'll just, for some additional updates, I am pausing the live stream the drawing practice just for the rest of this week. Just for this week. I shouldn't say the rest of this week. This week just started. Just for this week, because I am actually finalizing the curriculum of my tutorial stuff, and I want to follow the curriculum that I created for the tutorials. So I'm going to pick up, I'm going to pick it back up on Monday, probably Sunday, over the weekend. I'll be done with it completely done with it by then. But I'm building out the full curriculum, so I have it basically built. I need to add details. So I will, every time you get on here, I'm going to be doing some kind of printmaking activity. It might be printing, it might be carving. Hey T, good morning. All right, T, I get it. I get it. You said you've been yapping? Hey, Elle, good morning. Thanks for getting your heart me, L and T. Frank, good morning. How are you? Um, Tanya, the middle view, which is why it might be a sharper image. The middle view is a webcam, and the overhead is a phone. Is my phone. Um, Oh, 300 minutes. Y'all, the stickers are so tiny on my thing. T said, oh no, I've been yapping. Great morning for printing and yapping. I'm with you, Frank Cigarette. Thanks for the overreacts, Black Lotus. Oh, Elle, thank you for the finger hearts. I appreciate you. I am going to reset the goal. I think I actually am going to change it this time. Thank you, y'all. I appreciate you. T and L did super drive-bys, in and out. Oh, y'all are using... So I can't wait till Nika Grace gets in here. Because I told her I would have done it. Oh, Tanya, you were here too. And I said I was going to do it, the sticker, the iguana, after the live stream. Hey, Coach Rhonda, good morning. Thanks for getting your heart me. All right, y'all. All right, the rest of these details are way too tiny for me to see without my magnifying light. So I'm going to leave these alone. Actually, I'll carve these later during the day, so you'll see video. I'll make content with this, the rest of the detail here. Because I'll use my... And also, the other thing to think about, y'all, if you ever get into this, I'm a woman of my word. Thank you for the roses, Coach Rhonda. I think that... Thank you for lighting that up in the gallery. I think that's what happened because it doesn't tell me here. Oh my gosh, Nika Grace. You did. I see it, Coach Rhonda, the light. I'm looking at my other device here. Thank you for using the stickers. I actually did it this morning while I was drinking my coffee. I did not bother to draw it, y'all. I just created one in Adobe Express. I just used elements and customized it in Adobe Express because I couldn't bother to draw it. I had already left it too late, and then I was like, I don't have time. The reason I don't have more stickers is because I don't have time to draw them. So I was like, you know what? I told Nika Grace I was gonna do it. I'm keeping my word. Ooh, thank you for the corgi, Nika Grace. Thank you. And so I created it. So if y'all want to drop iguanas, well, apparently dropping iguanas is the thing. So thank you. Oh, I kind of love it too. I'm not mad at it. I am not mad at it. I mean, I feel like the iguana lovers would be disappointed in this room. This is not their, you thought who was lying? Hey, Cranky Panky. How are you? I'm holding on to it, Black Lotus. The iguana is my spirit animal now. Joe looked it up and shared it with me, and that stuff was definitely divine in some way. So I'm taking it. The universe was sending me signals. Now, listen, y'all. I'm not gonna be talking about iguanas in here all the time. I'm just embracing the iguana a little bit. I will probably do one print of an iguana print. And then after that, I'm really taking it for the sign it is to get my stuff done that I'm supposed to be doing. How are you, Cranky Panky? We haven't seen you in a long time. I hope you've been good. All right. Is it very crisp? Okay. I just reset it, so I think this might have been delayed. Thanks, friend. All right, y'all. I think we're good. Asher, welcome in. Thank you for joining. 40 times title gifter. All right, let us do our new celebration. Don the same, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Now remember, now we have a new celebration sound. So as soon as the sound effects come up, we'll do the celebration sound. It's stuttering. Glow, I just stopped the feed and restarted the feed. So now it's showing that my quality is, oh, shenanigans. Now it's showing my quality is excellent. So in a minute, it shouldn't be stuttering anymore. It shouldn't. Oh, I'll take that back. I'm gonna try something, y'all, and I might lose my feed. Oh, I didn't. Good. Alright, let's see if that will fix my YT. Hey, Blondie. What did you send when you shared the live, Nika? Yeah, I'll be right back to carving in a second. Give me 1 minute. 30 seconds. Dr. Cat Meow, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. I am... Alright. Let's get back to carving and let that thing reconcile itself. Oh, Nika. I did put a new sticker. I didn't do it at the time I said I would, but it's there. Nika Grace drops that sticker. Portrait by Brenda, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Folks, as you are hanging out with me here, feel free to drop questions that you might have in the chat, but also please don't forget from time to time to keep tapping the screen to like the live so that we can get pushed out to some more folks so they can join us in our fun and exciting room in the mornings. Portrait by Brenda. Yes, I am carving. I am carving it. I was trying to fix the camera stuff for a little bit. That's why I wasn't actively carving when you came in. But yes, I am carving this morning. Because I do need to get this done. I've been working on this for far too long. I should have gotten it done already. So I am carving, folks. But still, if you have questions, drop them in the chat. I look up very frequently. So thank you for the follow, Portrait by Brenda. I appreciate you. Because I look up at the chat frequently. So if you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Glow, I still need to get my... Yikes! I forgot again. I think Tickfinity probably charged me. Maximalist, good morning. Oh, thanks, Tanya. How are you, Maximalist? Thank you, Tanya. You know I forgot. Oh, wait. They didn't... It's not even... You felt like it wasn't worth it to renew, Glow? Great. I always love you. You are always like, it's always a good word. Great. Oh, why do I feel like I'm stuck here? Shatta! Good morning. Wait, you know what I noticed? This stuff isn't coming up on the screen. I tried to open up the music too. But so I guess, Glow, the question I have for you, is it worth the subscription? That's the question I have for you. Oh, you know what? Let me turn on my do not disturb. Y'all, the upside down is because I do in fact have it upside down because, oh, I just realized I'm too far over. Actually, this is a comfortable spot for me, so I am going to see if I can extend this out more. Let me see something. Oh, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm going to make an adjustment on the top because I didn't realize. I think I can do this without so much visibility. Of the phone, I can adjust. It doesn't, it's not over though. Sorry, y'all. You know, sometimes I gotta make adjustments on the fly, so there we go. And now I'm gonna adjust this so y'all don't see the jerry rig. There we go. You know it's there. Maybe later on. Okay. Make it chatter, how are you doing? Guess what, Make it chatter? We have an iguana sticker. We have an iguana sticker. Yes, we have multiple views. We do have multiple views. I had only done it for yesterday, but I kind of like it. Now y'all know if it's starting to be a problem, let me know and we can figure out a better option. But I feel like the multiple views is pretty decent. I'm not complaining about these tools. I'm not complaining. I want to, but I won't. And for those of you that this might be something that you're interested in pursuing, the thing to be aware of is sometimes some of the things that I'm doing while I'm on the live really are because it's not a tremendous number of things, but there are some ways that I'm like turning the tools and stuff because when I carve, ideally I need to be standing up to be able to have the leverage that I need. Not everyone has to. You said all of it, the iguana and the multiple views. If I could get these, I can't get any of my links to work in here. The sound effects aren't coming up. The live goal isn't coming up. Like, I don't know what's going on. So because I'm not standing, I'm sitting, some details I'm not going to even try to get to. Otherwise I would, otherwise I'm gonna be messing up my, my Lino. So, some things have to wait. But you can see it in content because I post, my carbon content all the time. See, just now I just went too far with that mark and I cut into, oh y'all, I actually, that wasn't bad. That's an area that I'm cutting away anyway, but I did not want to make that mark, but I'll end up being okay because I'm cutting that area away anyway. But you get the point of what I'm saying. So there are certain things that I wouldn't do or I only do because certain like things with my hands and stuff. You like the glues? The glues. You like the glues glow? I meshed glow and views together. Gloss, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Thanks for the Go Popular, Nika Grace. The glues. I like the glues. I don't know what's going on with Live Studio, y'all. I cannot open the live goal. And I cannot open the sounds. Holly House, welcome in. Thank you for joining. So, y'all, thank you for sharing the live and liking the live. I appreciate you all. Holly, I have not made prints of them because I haven't finished carving. So I am carving. I'm trying to get them done in the next, I can probably get them done in the next day or two. I have some other things to work on, so I'm not going to be able to just keep going. I only, aside from the live stream, Holly, I only carve for 30 minutes a day. So my progress is not always super fast. Nick, thank you for the follow. Thank you for joining us. I have not made prints of them yet. Nick, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. Y'all, it looks like my what do we say it's on? My like supplication to TikTok worked. We have some printmaking lovers in the room. You know what I can't wait for, y'all? Terry, that's a fabulous question. So I've never done ACEOs before, but I am going to use this to test out working on ACEOs. So yes, that is what I will do. And the idea is that I'll print the doors on multiple sheets, because if I show you the whole thing, it is just 4 different designs duplicated. So the idea is I'll print the whole thing, and then for each door, the individual print, the individual tiny ACEO will have some kind of different decorative element around the door. So I'm trying those out. I was wondering if you did print and of one color and then remove more. Ah, Holly, I'm not this like a reduction print. No, I haven't done that yet. But that is a good question. I am going to be doing a reduction print as my next print, Holly. So that would be, Nick, you know, at first I was thinking that is so smart for ACEOs. I gotta see though, Nick. I'm testing it out because I am like, wait a minute now. It's a lot of work. So let's see. But I am definitely trying it. So if you come back, you'll see the test. Christina, good morning. How are you? Great to see you. You look forward to seeing that, Holly? Yeah, I'm definitely going to do a reduction print next. We were talking about it a couple lives ago, and I was like, you know what? I haven't done a reduction print in a long time. Let me do one next. Because I add color to my prints in various ways. Sometimes I add color by using, you know, multiple blocks to add color. Sometimes I add color by just using gouache. One block with whatever my main image is, and then I add color with gouache, and then I haven't done a reduction print in a long time, so I actually need to. I'm looking forward to it. Reduction. The first print I ever did when I was, I think I was about 19 when I did my first printmaking, my relief print class. My first relief print class in college, and it was a wood block print I did, and it was a reduction print. You said reduction still break your brain? You know what, y'all? The other day when I was digging in the closet for something, I know that I still have my my first print that I ever did all those years ago. That was that's 27, about 20 something years ago. 27? Yeah. 27 years ago. I'm counting. I'm subtracting from my age, my current age. And I'm like, my dad kept that print, and so I actually still have that print. I found it. My mom found it the other day and gave it to me. And when I was digging in the closet, one day last week, I found a roll up of some drawings I had done when I was like 14, and that print is in there. Oh, Nick, I plan out even if it's not a reduction print. I actually started doing that years ago, planning out my prints digitally. When I first, years ago, when I first started using, when I got my first my first iPad Pro, I immediately started planning my prints there because it became so much easier to manage. In fact, even this carving, I just did my outlines and I didn't use my blackouts to figure out where I'm carving yet. So I need to plan that digitally. I didn't plan them properly. These I did. But I did that after, so I need to figure that out. So Nick, you are right on track. I do that all the time. I only plan, even if it's a one color print, I plan it. Even if I'm only using one block, I plan it digitally first. So it's much easier that way. I'm trying to work smarter, not harder. You said you're drawing as well, Christina. Glad to hear it. But yeah, I do it all the time, Nick. So don't feel like it's not something you shouldn't do. If it will help. But even people that do reductions all the time, I think the reality is it breaks their brain too all the time. Ooh, you did a reduction print of a foxglove. I love that. Mine was a under the sea. Like, I don't remember if the thought was it was a fish tank or if it was like a under the sea. And now when I look at it, I remember the feeling I had when I did that reduction print, and that's when I fell in love with block printing, and I was so excited, and I loved how it looked. And y'all, I look at it today, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what was I thinking? But the reason that I just like process that is, yeah, maybe that would be kind of cool. Maybe I should redo that print. Like the idea of the print 20 something years later, that would be kind of cool if I redid that. Let's see how different I could make it look. Person with the hibiscus as their name, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. You didn't yours have a croton with a frog friend in it for your relief class woodcut reduction project. That's a gorgeous. Croton is a good one. Those colors, oh yeah. That's a good idea. For a croton, oh my goodness. Do you have it? I hope you have it posted or something. Well, I don't know how long ago it was. A croton is a good one to use for a reduction. Y'all, if you, again, these words that are being used, if you have questions, ask. Please, please, please. You do have it on your Insta? Right, Holly, as I was processing it in my head, I was like, that would, if I'm gonna do a reduction as my next one, it would be kind of cool to do it as my first reduction in a long time. I'm reworking my first ever block print, and then first ever, of course, then first ever reduction print. Oh, I think I'm gonna do it. I've decided. The decision has been made. I do not need to be convinced in any way, shape, or form. Y'all are like, yeah, we don't care. But guess what, y'all? I'm gonna be carving it right on this live stream. Have a magical day. Make it chatter. Thank you for dropping in and for hanging around. You didn't just drop. Javier, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. If there are folks in the room that I have not said hello to, please drop an emoji in the chat so I can say hi. John, is that supposed to say, yo, what's good? Thank you for liking the live. I'm Gen X, John. Sometimes, I don't know what what these things mean. Hey, Ali versus Cake, how are you? You weren't showing up in my list. How are you doing this morning? Random side note, printing with acrylic inks using the pink soft blocks give the watercolor effect. Oh, that's cool, Nick. Thank you for that info. And so, folks in the room, Nick is saying that if we print with acrylic inks using the pink soft blocks, it gives a watercolor effect. That's kind of cool. You're just chilling, making moves in. Are you saying jujitsu shenanigans? What's fingerboarding, y'all? You're drawing? All right, Ali. You know, that sounds awesome. Thank you for the roses. And thanks, of course, thank you for hanging out with us. And are you drawing? What are you drawing, Ali, if you don't mind sharing? Is it something cool and fun? Of course it's cool and fun. You're drawing. If you're drawing, it's cool and fun. Oh, Christina, what are you drawing? You said you were drawing too. Y'all. Dr. Michelle, good morning. Thanks for getting your heart me. Especially if you're printing a pattern. Thank you, Nick, for the tip. So we got a new tip, y'all. If you are interested, it's definitely something to try. It's always nice to test out new combinations of things so that you can see how they work, see if it's something that you like and want to add to your toolkit of style approaches to any medium, really. We talk about this sometimes in here. I started a back to basics drawing practice. So some days I'm in here and I'm doing my drawing practice. And one of the things I was talking about is I really wanted to come up with some fresh new ideas. And a while back, Dr. Michelle, thank you for the shares. Thank you, Dr. Michelle. I was pressured, so I have to. You said Nika got you with a sticker. I was pressured. I had to come up with the sticker today. It had to be here this morning. Ooh, Ali. It's racy. You know. Who doesn't mind a little bit of racy every now and again, Ali? We don't mind. We don't mind in here. We're all adults. Racy shouldn't be a problem. It's certainly not one for me. You know, we were talking about some folks, Estella specifically was talking about doing a lot of like experimentation in art practice, and it really made me think about, even though I was saying that I was doing, one of the reasons I was doing the back to basics practice was for the purpose of coming up with fresh new ideas. The thing that Dr. Michelle, thank you for the Go Populars. The thing that I hadn't done was I hadn't been doing experimentation and art play for years, because lots of reasons, y'all, but one of them is because I was running a print shop and running a stationery brand in a very commercial way. The stationery brand, I sell wholesale, and it changes the dynamic of how you produce, because you're talking about having to really create from and build efficiencies into your process so you can maximize on your profit, and also be able to scale at volume, because the larger your orders get, the more efficient you have to get in getting the orders out. Anyway, that meant that it's not, that didn't mean that I shouldn't do my art play or I didn't have time to. I didn't make the time. I have to take a lot of accountability for that, because I did not make the time to do my experimentation and my fun art. And so after that conversation that we had in here, I decided that one of the things I was going to make sure I was doing during the back to basics practice is also a little bit of more experimentation with tools, styles, those types of things. So thanks for the finger hearts, Dr. Michelle, and for the roses. I think you might have lit them up because it doesn't show me here. I appreciate that. Um, it is difficult to balance it all, Nick. But it's something that one of the things that um one of the things that to contemplate in that is if you've decided that certain thing, you decide where your priorities sit, right? And I think if and in for me that I would have liked that to be a priority, and I didn't prioritize it. I'm not saying I had to spend all my time or a lot of time, but I spent no time, which is not a space that I ever wanted to be in. So, hey Lighthouse, good morning. Thank you for the heart me and the Go Popular. So in when I closed the print shop and put the stationery brand stuff on pause because I'm reconfiguring a lot of things, I had to start thinking about where my priorities sat and then tailor my business and the things that I am going to pursue from a business perspective and a revenue generating perspective. Tailor that based on my priorities. And my priorities, I decided to make sure that my art practice and play outside of what I'm selling would become a priority again for me, because having your passion be your job creates an interesting dilemma sometimes if you're not careful how you're managing it. Having your passion be your 9 to 5 or your job is creates its own challenges if you are not careful about how you're balancing the joy of it. So it's just something to think about. It's something that I knew. I just you can get caught in the rat race of that too, y'all. So it's just because you're doing something that you love as your work doesn't mean you can't get burnt out. In fact, you might get burnt out more easily because you don't draw boundaries around it, and so it's just something to be mindful of when you're planning to go down that road. I know that in practice, and I knew that in theory, and I definitely know it in practice, y'all. I have lived that life. I've been a full-time. I quit my corporate job. I walked away from my corporate career in 2018 and then went back 1 or 2 times part-time for 2 years, and then in 2020 I haven't had a traditional 9 to 5 since 2020. So I know it well. We all hear the whole thing where if you run your own business or if you're doing your own thing, you work 24/7, but that's something you can manage, y'all. You don't have to do it that way. Anka, Hari, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Oh, Dr. Michelle, thank you. You experienced something similar on much smaller scale, trying to keep up with craft shows. Nick, that's a very good example of it, because if you are someone that is, for the folks in the room, if you've ever done a craft show, folks, it feels like it's fun and all that stuff, but yeah, it's very labor intensive. Craft shows are very labor intensive. And to that point, Nick, I decided a couple years ago, I decided a couple years ago not to, oh, thank you for the donut, Dr. Michelle. I decided a couple years ago not to do shows anymore, Nick, because where I am, the shows that I was doing were really not worth it. As someone running a business, I had to really think about my return on my investment, and it wasn't worth it at the time. Now, return on your investment doesn't just mean dollars, right? So there are lots of things to think about when you're thinking about those types of things. One of the things that craft shows are great for, even if you don't sell a lot, is exposure locally. If you're doing show, folks, connections get made. It's a networking opportunity. It really is. So when you talk about return on investment, it doesn't just mean that you got all your money back and you made money or you made sales. You have to think about the connections you made with other artists in the shows, the folks that are looking at your work, the folks that the show, the folks that coordinate the shows. A lot of folks that coordinate shows typically coordinate multiple shows, so exposure to those things. It's craft shows, art shows, however you want to define them. Tanya, you said balancing joy is so important. As soon as creating stops bringing you joy, red flag. Tanya, I agree with you. I do agree with you. At the same time, what I have done for myself is I've created a space where some of the things that I create are not for the purpose of generating revenue, and I sit in the joy of creating fully there, because as someone that makes their living from my creativity, even if it's not bringing me joy, I mean, I'm not saying I'm miserable, but even if it's not in the moment joyous and I'm playing around, the reality of production, especially of production for a business, is there is a component of it where only discipline is driving you, versus I love to do this thing. That's the tricky part of it. I'm not saying folks haven't found a balance, but it definitely is one of those things where I'm like, I'm not. It's a space to manage. Nick, you said fun and exhausting, especially when you're less than physically able to do it all yourself. Nick, that is true. I have met lots of folks though, I have met lots of folks that don't do their markets themselves. They actually hire someone and pay them like an hourly rate to do the markets for them, and it works out really well. You fall weirdly in the craft and art shows, so the return on investment isn't always there. Even occasionally vending fun is taxing. I enjoy, but the sales were hit or miss. Mostly miss. Dr. Michelle. You're hyping me up, Dr. Michelle. Sophia Pindi, Fashion, welcome in. Thanks for joining. Yeah, Tanya, and that's the thing. Listen to me, y'all. Y'all hear me say this about everything. What works for one person is not going to be the thing that works for you. The important thing is that you have to figure out the things that are important to you. You have to figure out the things that are your motivation and that drive you. And you have to figure out where that I'm going to be driven by the discipline sits. And then you figure out a system and a grouping of those things that work for you. What works for me is not going to work for everybody else. There are going to be differences in how you make this work. Some folks are totally okay. Like, you know what? I prefer to have a 9 to 5, and my art is something I'm enjoying doing, and I might sell some every now and again. Or there are so many combinations, but you have to figure out what you prefer. You have to figure out what is important to you. Oh, Dr. Michelle, I'm glad. It's definitely something that is like right here for me. You know, it's been my life. And I took myself to a place where Yeah, I don't know if I would say that I was burnt out, but I definitely took myself to a place where I was not pleased with my outcome. So I needed to make the changes. Hey True, good morning. How are you? We are all just out here trying to figure it out. Oh, Nick, you are right. We really are. The important thing is that we keep trying to figure out what's the best combo, right? And making the shifts that we need and not just plowing forward in a path that doesn't feel good. Y'all, it's okay to stop and regroup when things start to feel like it's not working for you. And again, there are lots of considerations. Everybody is also in a very different point in their lives with different needs for their lives. You and compare The biggest part of it is don't compare yourself to where other people are. You have to figure out what's for you. Compare yourself to yourself today versus a year from now or a year ago. And figure out that personal combo that works for you. That's the thing. And I'm saying all of this because I still, even though I know better, I don't always do the best job of remembering that I'm not comparing myself to others and that kind of thing. Y'all, I get it too. Like, for folks, it's like, when people hear that you do something creative as your job or you're an artist as your job, y'all, it's a weird thing. You said if we aren't giving up entirely on life, that's always a win. You are right. Thanks for the rose, Tanya. So, I am definitely, well, y'all, I'm excited really because this year, the start of this year was, after I closed the print shop at the end of June, I had decided that I was going to take some time to figure out um, where things went wrong and not just why the business at that point wasn't working anymore because I've been running the print shop for a few years successfully, but why it wasn't working anymore, but why personally, like what's the place that I wanted to be in next, how did I want to feel on a daily basis about what I was working on, what are the things that I want to do. And sometimes you don't get all the answers right away as you're thinking about it. Sometimes you have to just start doing stuff and you get clarity while you're doing. And that is exactly what happened to me because one of the things I decided I was going to do, because it's something I always wanted to do, was commit to being consistent on my social media platforms. As I love social media, y'all, I know that's not everybody's thing. Some people only do it because they have to, but I love social media. Always have. But I wasn't being consistent with it, and I promised myself I would do that at least. And in doing it consistently, it has revealed to me where the path that is right for me, it has been revealed through the doing. So I'm excited about moving on to like that next thing. But yeah, start doing stuff because if you don't like it, you can stop. You can stop. But you might get some clarity. Even all that is information. If you start doing something and you don't like it, that's data for you to use. That's not a direction you're going to go in for the future. So, yeah, y'all, yeah. All right, let me pay attention to this one because I marked out my lines more clearly. Nick, when I say print shop, I'm also a letterpress printer, so I had like a production print shop where I printed letterpress for other people. I had a an entire like a not print shop like I make my prints and I sell them. Like a full-on letterpress print shop. Um, I closed that in the end of June. I closed it entirely because I realized there were a lot of reasons. It wasn't making the money it needed to anymore, but also I did not want to go down that road anymore. I enjoyed it while it lasted. A little bit in the last year of it wasn't exactly what I wanted because I ended up doing work that I didn't like. It didn't make me miserable, but I didn't like it. I ended up doing work that I didn't like to be able to make money to pay bills for the overhead. And that just wasn't working for me anymore. And so I closed the actual print shop. I still letterpress print and will still letterpress print. I just will not be doing custom print jobs. Frankly, what I would love to start doing is what I will start doing at some point is helping other creatives figure out how to create. I'm heavy on product based business. I love products. I love creating products and packaging, and I have knowledge. So I do want to help some folks figure out ways to create products from their art in ways that are financially viable, because we do a lot of, there's a lot of, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this. Did I make stickers with my Cricut? Sure. But that's not, in terms of, a lot of folks think that if you do it yourself, it means it's cheaper, it's easier. I don't mean the quality is cheaper. I mean it's more cost effective. But that's really not always the case. Perfect, Nick. You outsource sticker production when you can. And that's the thing, is that a lot of folks don't realize just how beneficial it is if you operate in that way. So anyway, you get the gist, you get the drift of what I'm saying. So yeah, the print shop is closed as a print shop, but I still will letterpress print. In fact, y'all, my plan is to, some lives will be at my in my letterpress space. Right now, that's not as easy as I would like it to be. I was in an 800 square foot space, so I had lots of space for my 3 Dryant presses. The space I'm in now is, y'all, I think it's 200 square feet where the presses are. And 2 of the presses are, hey, Agony, 2 of the presses are not even able to, I can only run 1 press, and the other presses are like pushed up against the wall. So I need to get rid of one of the presses, and then I'll have 2 presses that I can set up to run. And then once I get all that situated, some lives are going to be from the print studio, y'all. So y'all will see me live running the press. You said having a press is the dream. Well, for my Linocut stuff, I print in my garage, Nick. Sometimes I go live doing that, and I show videos doing it. But for the letterpress, I have floor presses, so they take up a lot of space and they're very heavy. So once I set, there's one press that I am gonna sell. I'm a little bit sad about it, but I need to think about the next part of my journey, and that it just doesn't fit. So I am getting rid of my Heidelberg. If y'all know somebody that wants to buy it, listen to me. I'm like, somebody that wants to buy a Heidelberg, let me know. Good morning, Em. How are you? I'm located in South Florida, in the Fort Lauderdale area. If you know somebody that wants to buy a windmill, let me know. But um, I haven't listed it or anything yet. Cause I'm fighting that a little bit too. I kind of don't want to get rid of it. You said if you had the money and the space. Honestly, I'm probably gonna sell it for far less than it's worth because, from a value perspective, to me, the space is more valuable than the price. I'm not saying I'm gonna sell it for like pennies, but probably far less than it's worth. I'm gonna end up selling it for. So yeah. But I'm excited for the live streams that will be in while I'm letterpress printing, y'all. I'm actually really excited to share that with y'all, like live. You know, I know that I post videos now and then, but I haven't even printed. I have not printed on my press since maybe October. One press is running. And I haven't printed on it, I think, since October, maybe even September. That's a little weird for me, y'all. For somebody that would run the press for before the end of June 2025. So for 6 years, I ran that press every day, even on the weekend, even on a Sunday. It's weird not to have to run at least one of those presses for this long, but oh, true, come on with that. True! You haven't hand printed anything in the past year. Nick, come hang out with us on a regular basis. You know, the conversation goes in a different direction every day, but the base of the conversation is always something that is encouraging in some way, shape, or form. I think, oh, Frank's cigarette. One thing I will tell you is I am super grateful to have the presses. I do not take that for granted, y'all. I do not take for granted that I have the presses. I'm careful about, I was gonna say blessed to have the presses, but y'all, I worked hard to be able to afford those presses, to find those presses, to get those presses, to run that print shop. I busted my ass to be there, and it is very difficult for me to even think about selling the press. No, true, I'm joking. I'm half joking, but I do want you to share. I don't want you to stop sharing. Please don't. Okay, you know. All right, perfect. I'm half joking though. You can see it on my face when I read what you're writing, and I'm like, oh, because some of it is about, you know, having confidence and faith in myself about keeping it. So, the thing about it though, true, is even if I get rid of that press, I can get another one. I have resources where I could get another one. Or y'all, that's another thing is that sometimes outsourcing, like we were talking about with the outsourcing, sometimes is the best bet. So I am also through my networking, I have a network of different resources in the printing realm that allow me to be able to, even if I don't have what I need from a production, like if I don't have the machine to do it, can I rent it? That's actually a good idea. The problem with that press, is a lot of schools will not teach with that press. it's a challenging press to learn and run, and they don't teach it. I will get it sold because I have folks that are like the press mechanic that I work with. Probably gets requests for that press every couple of months, and he has reach internationally too. So it will get sold. I just kind of haven't officially put it out there yet. But that is something for me to think about. The challenge sometimes it would have to be like extended lease, right? Because the reality is it's 2000. You can't get like you have to make sure you know what you're doing to move those things. People break those presses all the time. They put them in vehicles and lift gates that can't really handle them. If you even look it up, you'll see where somebody's press fell off a lift gate, shattered. You said you would be offering to be a studio hand. But right now for my linos, I print in my garage, and even that, Nick, I use a Woodzilla press. I need to get an etching press because physically it's not good for me. Frank, my 3 presses. My first press, you're talking about getting attached to them. Big Betty, when you were in college, my presses are. I have a video introducing the presses. My first press is a CMP 10x15. Her name is Missy. My second press was the windmill. The windmill's name is Tweety. And then my third press is another CMP. The windmill is a 10x15 too. And then my third press is another CMP that I got from the person that taught me letterpress for the first time years ago. I got that press from her. So the press was named George. So I kept George's name. I call him Georgie Porgy though. So those are my presses. I have two Chandler and Price 10x15 platen presses, and then one Heidelberg platen press 10x15. Now, it's the windmill name for the Heidelberg is not its official name. It's called a windmill because of the arm that grips the paper and feeds it. Rotates like a windmill, so it's been named the windmill, but it's a Heidelberg platen press. Your back is bad, you have surgery in 2020, and printing on a kitchen table is not ideal. Yeah, Nick, and that's the thing, is that physically I print now and it's okay, but the reason I got the Woodzilla press is because I just couldn't hand burnish anymore. And then now that I have the Woodzilla press, I've had the Woodzilla press for about 5 years. I still need additional support. Shared creative community, welcome in. Thank you for coming back. Thanks for joining us. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody. Nick, let's see. Nick, a press. You need to. You know what the provisional press is? Do you know what that is? It's much cheaper than a Woodzilla, and it actually works like a galley-proof press. Can lease with the option to buy. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna take that into consideration. Thank you. I didn't even think about that. That's a good idea though. So look it up. A provisional press actually might be a good option for you, because it works like a galley press. But the people that make them in a way that's very affordable, because they're trying to create presses that are easy to acquire, especially for educational, so from an educational perspective. So if you sign up, you'll get alerts when they do pre-orders, because they do like runs of the press. And I want to say, I don't remember the price, but I want to say it's around $100. It's not crazy. So like when I bought my Woodzilla press, it was, I want to say about almost $500, I think, if I remember. But this provisional press, actually, I always say to myself, I wish I had seen this provisional press before the Woodzilla, because I wouldn't have bought the Woodzilla. I would have bought the provisional. Yeah, look at it. Look it up, Nick, because it's actually a really, I mean, there are limitations because you won't be able to print past a certain size. But for right now, it would help. True, I love that idea. The challenge is, and I'll say it from this perspective, true, especially based on what you said before. The challenge is that right now, the press cannot be run because it's pushed up against a corner and wrapped up. Space, you know. So I'm not saying I wouldn't be able to do that, because I am taking what you said earlier into consideration. True, I am. Um, but I do know that I need to, my next round of going through this process definitely needs to have a component where I do as I know I should do and get help and all of those things. Like Nick, you were saying, like a studio, like studio support. I definitely need to be in that place. I have no problem teaching folks how to do the things that need to get done. Never ever will I have a problem teaching somebody, and never have ever will I have a problem teaching somebody and they learn and they go out and do their own thing. That's what I want. I want folks, whatever knowledge I have, to be able to share it. Something, yeah. Um, I want to be able to share it, and then folks go and take it and make it bigger. That's just, I. It's an important thing to me. So, I'm not taking off the table that I'm not gonna be in a space like that again. But for right now, that's not the priority. Let's put it that way. But yeah, that doesn't mean that stuff isn't getting done. We are. You said, where do you put in an application? Let's see how this year goes, y'all. I have a lot of things on the docket. You all know a lot of the things I've talked about. And every time we talk about these things in this room, I get ideas, and then you all give me ideas, and y'all hype me up in a way where I'm like, wait a minute, I probably can do this again, or I can do this thing that I want to do. Um, and there's a lot of stuff in my head that I want to share with folks. There is a lot of knowledge about product development and production in my head, y'all. A lot. Resources, all of it. Like building systems around your product production, all of it that I need to get out. You said you have a new idea for 18 by 24 political print that you're trying to gather the energy to start. Oh yeah, Nick, that's 18 by 24 is gonna be a challenge for you um with some of the limit. But the thing is that you said you want to learn. You have boxes and boxes of painting. That's awesome, true. Well, y'all, this month Q1 is I'm working on getting the stuff out there. And I'm gonna start by the end of the week, y'all will get your invitations for the group chat, because I am also going to need some testers, a few testers for some stuff that I'm working on, y'all. Oh yeah, I had started down that path And what I found with some of that is the thing to it's not as easy as before. A lot of younger folks are, I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of younger folks are not interested in the traditional stuff. They think it's cool, but they don't want to learn it because they don't feel like they want to do digital. They want to whatever, you know? So it's tricky. But I'm holding on to my analog. I'm holding on. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it is a little bit harder. Um, but I'm holding on to my analog, y'all, because the direction that we're going in the world is people are going to be clamoring for the tactile stuff. Just in you all, if you all have seen my content, they're going to be clamoring for the tactile, if just to find some balance for themselves. You know, the evolution of technology is not going to stop. Screens are not going anywhere. I'm not saying let's get rid of screens. I'm not like let's go back to complete analog life. That's not my. I don't do that. I don't expect other people to do it, but people are going to be. There you go, agony. Things like that. I think people are going to be clamoring for the tactile, and there's an opportunity for us to be creating in a way, and also producing the tools for people to be able to engage with the tactile, you know? So, again, I have this knowledge of production in a way that not everyone does, and I don't want to stop sharing that knowledge because I closed the print shop. So, things we got a lot of good stuff on the docket. You feel like grad students would be more invested than undergrads for that reason? Yeah, Nick, you know, I live in an interesting place. I'm not always convinced that where I live is the ideal place for me. Hey, Dana. Dana, did I tell you this? I don't remember if I sent this in a message to you. I was able to. No, I didn't watch. I watched like a minute of each, but I was able to get into the different. I was able to get into the different seasons for landscape. I was able to get into them on Prime. You said with the influx of AI, human-made anything is going to become more valuable and sought out. Agreed, Nick. And again, I'm not someone. What I don't know. So I feel like that should be the case for you, because once you have access to them, that's weird. I was excited though. I was excited, Dana. I was excited that I could. South Florida is a big art hub though, Nick. Let me put it in context though, because remember, Art Basel happens here. There's a lot of creativity here. Don't get me wrong. Hey Bala, good morning. Sometimes though, what I have found in my personal opinion, and y'all, some of my thoughts about this are because I am not somebody that is I don't seek social interaction. I'm not saying that I'm not social, because once I get into a into a place where I have to have social interaction, I'm fine. I just reject it before I get there. So I don't seek it out. You know, any kind of networking stuff, I don't like it. Though when I do go, I enjoy it. I just don't like the thought of it. Those are things that I have to overcome too for my shift and my future, because if I'm to be honest with myself, some of the reason that my business started to kind of in that last year started to kind of go downhill a little bit. Yes, the economy was a thing, but part of it was because I wasn't doing enough work to get the business out into the world and knowledge of the business existing out into the world. But that's something I'm stepping past, and I'm doing the things that I say that I don't enjoy, and I'm doing things that normally I would have said no to certain things, but I'm saying yes. I'm saying yes to all the things, y'all. You've seen the first 5 or 6 seasons, so you're looking forward to the new ones. Oh yeah, Dana, I'm still in Portrait. I had watched season 10 of Portrait, so now I'm just starting from the beginning. So I have a long way to go, but I'm very excited because there are so many seasons. You don't know much about Florida, but you can see where I could be inspired by so much down here. The scenery is gorgeous and inspiring, and the art scene here it's really good. It's prevalent, and depending on where you are between Miami and Fort Lauderdale, well, all the way up to Palm Beach, frankly, there's stuff going on, but there's an element of it that's a little superficial and performative. That's been an interesting thing. I'm not saying all of it is, but there is a little bit of an element of it that is similar to how down here is a little bit. There is like, it's like if you think about a place like LA, where there's this hugely superficial element to LA, but there's also this like huge like grassroots energy and talent and vibe. It's the same here. In LA, I feel like that scene is a little easier to find, the grassroots folks. But here, it's a similar thing. You really have to intentionally find the creative elements here that are not the performative one. But it exists, and it's a beautiful community. Don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful community. But because I am not a social seeker, I have had challenges. Markets actually were good for me for that. I met a lot of folks and know a lot of folks because of markets. So I know that if I reframe some of how I think about some of it, I will have a better experience. You said, okay, maybe less similar. The tourist area. I think I talk about it and I think to myself, lots of places are like that. And sometimes I equate it to when I lived in New York, and I feel like I'm like, there's a difference. But if I really, and again, this is why I preface a lot of it, of my opinion about it with kind of explaining to folks how my personality is. I didn't have those challenges in New York because I lived in the hub of that. I was already kind of entrenched on that scene. But the scene is bigger there, if that makes sense. So you kind of just have to figure out what works. This is definitely not my final place to be, though. This is not the place that I know that my place is in a different place. I just don't know where that place is yet. You said you've been thinking of moving to NYC? Yeah, you listen to me, y'all. I love New York City. Just New York City can be a challenging place to live when you become, I don't know how to put it, older, and the hype of that is difficult. Agony, you're telling me I need to move to Oregon? Agony, I gotta tell you, I don't know. I've never I've never even visited. And my years ago I had a friend that moved to Portland, and he used to, for years, he used to send me pictures of his home and his views and all that stuff, and was like, you need to move here, Leanne, and all of that kind of stuff. Nick, in your 30s is not bad, but you know, I moved from there when I was 36, I think, and I had been living in New York City for many years. Um, at that point. Um, so, and it's everybody's individual. Agni, I gotta tell you that my biggest concern about Oregon is and again, I've never been there, but I feel like, is that really a good place for me? You know, me with my brown skin. Agony, that is a real consideration for me, y'all. I don't have the luxury of being like, let me go here to move. I have to think about things like that. I genuinely have to think about things like that. You said smaller cities in New York are also pretty great for artists, particularly Buffalo and Rochester. Frank Cigarette, I believe it. I went to, I mean, it's not as far up as Buffalo, but I went to SUNY New Paltz for undergrad, and I spent 5 years in New Paltz. I love that area, and I love the community there. You said the fact that it still has to be a consideration makes it so sad. For you, it's can you hold a potential girlfriend's hand around town? Yeah, I mean, there are all those considerations, Nick. Yeah. And that's the thing is that but you know, Agony's also, I'm sure, hyper aware of that. So I gotta talk to Agony about the thought that Oregon might be a good place for me. Because again, y'all, I don't know the facts, right? I've never even visited. You said you would have to find a representative to speak on that regard. Um, okay. Um, so, Agony, I will tell you, I'll preface this for a lot of folks. I live in South Florida. The experience here is, I'm not saying it's not the Florida experience. It is a different experience. Um, you said you looked like a man for a while and lived in Tennessee and was told by people that you don't belong. Oh, wow. You said Oregon road trip. Different good, Nick. It's always gonna be the South. You're right, Em. But I gotta tell you, Em, the only place that I have experienced blatant like name calling is New York. I will tell you that. That has been the only place that I have experienced that is in New York. Yeah, Agony. I know that that's a consideration too, and that ends up being the thing. And so a lot of even the places that people recommend, people will be like, oh, you need to live in Atlanta, but the same considerations are there for Georgia, right? Outside of Atlanta proper and like the suburbs of Atlanta, but it's the same thing here for me. Um, you couldn't find a job. Ah, true. Yeah. And you also don't want to put like a blanket statement on a whole state. Um, Different areas are different experiences for folks too. So, a lot of considerations, but it's one of the things that I've put, when I say the things that I'm considering, I put it on the back burner because there are lots of things that I'm working on to accomplish that are not, that are agnostic of location. So I would be able, what I'm building is something that doesn't need a specific location, so that when I find the right place for me, I can move there and everything moves with me. Willful ignorance is a planetary condition. This is true. Asteroid Brastroid. Thank you for the follow. I love that name. Are you still here? Asteroid Brastroid. I love that. Hey, Art Walker. You have more of everything in NYC. Almost 9 million people. Agreed, M. Agreed. So that's why I'm like, there are statements to be made all around. One thing I will say, y'all, I talk about I'm ready, like I'm thinking about the next place I will be. I am 100% happy here. I'm not miserable here at all. I enjoy where I live. I know that if I step outside my comfort zone of being a more social person and going down a networking road, I know I will benefit from that. Because the resources are there and I know where they are and I am aware of them. And I am a big proponent of, you need to solve the problem. You need to get to the root cause of the issue. And a lot of times the root cause has nothing to do with the physical place. I'm not saying that, I'm not discrediting anybody's experience. I get it. Of course, sometimes it is the place, true. You gave a great, sometimes it really is the place. But sometimes when you think about, this is not the right place for me, I know that I have to think about why. Because if I don't solve the real why, no matter where I go, that why and that misery is coming with me. You know what I'm saying? That unhappiness with something is coming with me. No matter how perfect the place might be for me, if I'm unhappy at the root, it's gonna come with me. So I have to figure those pieces out. Like I know for me, I have to solve for that problem before I move to the next place, because the next place is not gonna solve the problem. You said, how could I not love it? I have wild iguanas just waiting to be friends. Y'all, I keep saying it. That that was an experience, but I don't see iguanas like that in my neighborhood. You were the first Black art director in the history of the New York Botanical Garden. Wow, M. I'm watching you. Every now and again, you drop a little flex. You drop a little flex, M. I like it. Every now and again, you say something like, super nonchalant, like, take a look at this person's work. They're my friend. Like my friend of 30 years. And it's like some fabulous person with fabulous work. And every now and again, M drops us a little flex. I like it, M. That is so cool. That is awesome. That is awesome. Is it Aine? I don't know how to pray. You've been around. I hear you, M. I appreciate you being around and also being here. You all know that I love having folks with all kinds of experience and exposure, because I feel like we can learn so much from each other. And we talk about this frequently, but where else can I go into a room and have such varied experience in one room? Life experience, creative experience, even where people are located, that stuff to me, this is invaluable to me. I have learned so much from you all. so much. See, this is my kind of networking, y'all. Something that's like organically built, where like, because at the end of the day, I feel like there is a thread running through us all, that that makes a connection for us. And so I do believe that there is a one common thread for all of us, and I do think that it has a lot to do with our openness to learning from each other and other people's perspective, and having that perspective of getting better at our art, our craft, our creative pursuits, but in a way that is flexible, open, and honest. And then also sharing with each other, because this is the thing, you don't have to be 20 years of experience in something to be able to share knowledge that somebody else doesn't have. It's just about your encounters. It's just about your exposure. You might have had a slightly different exposure to something, and your willingness to share it is a big part of this. You said that's the magic of TikTok. I don't feel that magic anywhere else. Yeah, I agree. I do agree. As much as TikTok gets on my nerves with this live streaming thing, the other live platforms do not allow for as much interaction in this way. Yeah, you can go live. Hey, Natty Nat, good morning. How are you? But y'all, even as a live host, you gotta manage you have to manage yourself. You have to manage, like, even I think about, I added back my night lives, and I'm really, y'all. That's why I'm like, y'all gonna see me carving and printing more on the live stream than doing the drawing practice, because I can't be spending 4 hours a day doing something that's not contributing to my revenue. I enjoy this, but I have to find the middle ground where it does work for me. I'm not saying I'm not going to do the drawing practice anymore, but I have to make shifts. I have to make changes. And I think that's the big thing. This is an important community for me to grow and develop, and I don't want to lose that. But I also have to be mindful. So my compromise is, y'all will be seeing me doing a little bit more of this stuff, and hopefully y'all don't mind. I hope y'all don't mind me carving or printing on the live. Sans iguana. I can't be. I'm not able to produce that much entertainment again. I can't redo that one. You said this is the joint. Thank you, Em. I don't mind facilitating this being the joint. I tell you, I get as much of this. I get more out of this than probably any of all of you combined. This is good for me. It's very good for me. But I have to be mindful for myself. But at the same time, I also feel comfortable being like, y'all, for this week, we're going to be doing a lot more carving and a lot less drawing, because that's where I am. Our worker, yes, they take a lot of energy and time, and you have to find your balance. You have to find a place where it works and you're able to do the things that you need to do. I enjoy it a lot, but it is a thing. It is a thing. But then you all also know that I love to run my mouth, so very frequently I will be stopping whatever I'm doing here, and probably will get a static image thing yelling at me. Glow sent that message hours ago. Y'all, so let's see how we do this. Let's see how we do this. And when I get the secret place set up, we're going to be able to dive even deeper into some of these conversations in a way that will be significantly beneficial for us all. And I'm looking forward to that. I have to be careful how I talk about the secret place though, y'all. Nicole Dream Visions, welcome in. What? Oh, I forget that this keeps doing that. But yeah, y'all, we got a good thing going, and it will keep going, and I will do my part to keep it going. I can make that promise to y'all. Yeah, this was not, you know how they say this wasn't on your bingo card? Going live on TikTok like literally every day was not on my bingo card, y'all. It definitely was not. That is a bad line I made there. But that's why I keep saying, you know, try the thing, and in the doing of the thing, you might end up in a place where you feel really good. Natty Nat, thank you for the pops. And Tanya, thank you for the lightning bolts. Lightning bolts. We're on fire here. Well, maybe not fire. Lightning. I don't know. What does that mean, Tanya, the lightning bolts? You sent that specifically for a reason. Baby Boomer, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Y'all, I'm grabbing for my mouse and it's not right here. Oh, Nick, I appreciate you. The next one is tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. I'm here every day at 9 a.m. Eastern, and some days are also at night. So you can rely on that. Thank you for being here, Nick, and thank you for participating in such a meaningful way. I appreciate you, and hope to see you again soon. You said, I knew it meant something. Lightning rod conversations. I like that. Thank you for the lives, Agony. What did we always have some kind of conversation in here. I mean, I know that even if there's no iguana to rescue, I believe that y'all enjoy being here, even if there is no iguana. I'm never gonna live that down, y'all. You know what I have to do? Because my brain isn't processing this properly right now, is I need to make some marks so that... Alright, Art Walker, thank you for being here. As usual, see you later. Well, Dana, let me know. Let's go. Let's go. I will say, I'm not saying you have to put your face on camera. Really, I'm not. But I do think people feel a little bit more of a connection with folks that do put their face on camera. You don't have to, though. I've never seen Agony Prime's face before. Agony, do you have, like, videos with your face? I don't think I've ever seen... And I've looked... I mean, I haven't looked at your whole profile. You say you... But there is, I do think that there is something. But people, you said 1 or 2. Like, not recently, though. Because I've looked back at some of your videos. I don't think I've ever seen a video with your face. Agony's not doing too bad. Agony has, like, 18.7 thousand followers. Agony's a TikTok celebrity. Without showing face. Y'all, I'm gonna use my ruler a little bit. So the point is, Dana, I'm not this. If you are willing to go down that road, I would encourage it. Like if you're willing to take the leap, to show your face, I would say do it. Even if it's not all the time, but sometimes I do think there is a benefit to folks feeling a little bit more of a connection to you, especially if you don't go live. You see, Agony goes live and is talking to folks all the time, so that does help too. SGV, welcome in. Thank you for joining. You have a pet peeve. If you're interested, you'll go look at a profile to see more art, but all the thumbnail shows is their face. I need to see the art. You want to see the art in people's profile picture, you mean? That's so like my profile picture is my face. Let me find out. I got on your nerves the first time. Like, what's going on here? Hey, Grace. Good morning. On the thumbnails in the library. Oh, I gotta go look, Agony. Because I'm curious. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, Dana. You are not using the wrong language. I know what you're saying. Like the cover. I think they call it the cover now because we can actually change it. But a lot of folks like that primary image that shows up their video shows their face versus work. Y'all, I actually have multiple profiles. I do try to show my face sometimes, but I try to show my yeah. Agony, I get you. You said during your lives you don't show your face until the end. I feel like a few people gift once they see your face. Tanya, that could be true. We talked about this. I talked about that a little bit. Listen, at the end of the day, different things work for different people, right? And one of the things for me, I know, when I first started going live, it was very important to me to show my face because you all have been here. A part of the way I communicate involves my body language and my facial expression. And that's part of my personality. And for me, I feel like to make a true connection with folks, I gotta show my face. So it was important to me to figure out a way where I could show my face. But I'm not saying that it has to be for all. But that is an interesting thing for you, Tanya, where you're showing your work. Dana, I agree with you there too. That Tanya's the way Tanya works is a little bit of an exception because I feel like it's very important to see your full process, Tanya. That's why I'm like, we need to figure out a solution for your live stream now. Like you being able to see and also folks being able to see enough. Because Tanya's getting some traction, y'all. Her lives are hopping, and we want to have you like you get both benefits. I'm not saying that the solution necessarily is you are on screen the whole time, but we do have to figure out a solution so that you're seeing your comments and stuff more. Yeah, Dana, I agree with you. You can't really see it. So you having your camera on your work primarily. You said your painting face is not good. People don't need to see your face while you're painting. That's okay, Tanya. True, you said showing your face. Nope. That's why I said I'm not saying you have to show your face. You don't. Lots of people, it works. They don't have to show their face. And I do know that lots of people there are a variety of reasons people don't want to show their face. So true, it doesn't mean you do not have to show your face. You can show your work, and you do not have to show your face. Lots of people do really, really well without showing their face. On social media, yeah, you don't have to worry about that. You don't remember who, but one fella uses a mirror. You can see his work and his reflection. I don't know if it's the same person, but I've seen that, Dana. Because when I first started going live and I was like, I didn't know about TikTok Live Studio. And I was trying to figure out true, I was reading what you were saying. It's good for communication. Differently? Dana, it's Live Studio that I'm using. That's how I have the three camera views. The one on me is my computer. Ooh, y'all! I just hit the table with everything and everything shook. Well, you saw that. The one on me is my camera. Is my computer camera. The one down here. So the one on all the way at the top is my phone that I have hovering over, and then the one that I don't know if I don't know if I'll be able to show is my little rig. I have a little small rig thing set up here with my webcam. Usually I only have the two views with the webcam and my face, but I actually started doing the three views yesterday just to show some other folks that you can have so to show folks that you can have multiple, like, different kinds of views, or you can do so many different things, because y'all see I have my little It's Me Leanne B logo here. And the awesome thing about it is I can move it around while we're here. Like, just the other day, Blondie was like, Leanne, move your little name thing. Because it's blocking us, So it is pretty cool from that perspective. It does have its issues. Like, I haven't been able to set my live goal or do the sounds today. There are lots of things I cannot share the live to TikTok. I can share the live outside of TikTok, but I can't share the live to TikTok, which is the most ridiculous thing to me, but whatever. So there are lots of little things that it does do and doesn't do. And also the Mac version doesn't do some things that the PC version does. So there are lots of things to think about when you're thinking about going live. But also remember, you don't necessarily have to solve everything in that moment. You can, just like anything else, start where you are, and then you can refine, you iterate later. But yeah, because I didn't have this set up before. I've changed it. But and you don't have to go live. The reason that I am going live is because of the things that I want to do with the community. The things I want to have us share. Like, I've always wanted to create a collective, cooperative style space for support. And because I'm not good with the in-person social stuff, because I'm not good with the in-person social stuff, I was like, let me do it here. And I do want to build I want more followers because y'all, again, this isn't, I'm not playing around here. There is a component of all of this work, not building our community necessarily, but like all my social media efforts and things like that, that's part of my marketing. And also I do want to monetize on the platform. So I'm trying to get to 10K followers so they can pay me for my content. That is a thing. But at the core of why I'm doing this, and which is why the live stream is an important part of this, is the live stream is a way for me to create a connection with the folk, you all, that I don't think I would be able to create as easily by just individual posts, you know? Yeah, I can share more in the posts and we can have conversation in the posts, but it becomes, I think the live stream adds a component of it that makes it a lot more authentic. You are it, and it's real time and all that stuff. So this is, so for me, anytime I get this feeling like I don't feel like going live, or let's be clear, y'all, all these feelings of like I don't want to go live, I don't want to show my face, I have those same feelings too. You know, I'm telling you, every morning I'm like, oh my God, my mustache looks very dark today. They're gonna see my mustache. I'm very self-conscious about the spacing in my teeth. And I laugh a lot, you know, but I just kind of just have to be like, whatever, Leanne, because I can't sit in that place or I won't go live. You know, even like I've put on quite a bit of weight since I came back, since like June, and I'm very self-conscious sometimes, even of bending over. And yeah, when I do the live stream in the garage, I'm self-conscious about a lot of trust me, y'all, every day I'm like, oh God, you know, there's always something I find on my face that I'm like, I don't want to go live, they're gonna see that. But I just have to close my eyes and be like, whatever, this is not what I'm here for, and I do not think this is what my folks are here for. And so I'm live. I'm here. I show up. And again, I have thought about not showing my face, but honestly, I don't know how to communicate out in a way. Y'all see a lot on my face, and that's important to me. A lot of how I am is in all of this that I'm doing, you know, and who I am. So anyway, you get what I'm saying. I do have the same hang-ups. This is not easy for me. Oh, Dana, so it's interesting. I want you to try to see how it looks, right? Because live studio does feel a little bit different than the phone in terms of that stuff, but you all see the phone, and I have to remember that too. Sometimes when I look, like I have my other phone here logged in with the AdPink and Star account, and I'm like, I'm getting so caught up. Y'all can't barely see my face anyway, because the comments are all over it. Oh, although y'all, I don't know if did y'all know that you can do, you can go back and forth. Yeah, Dana, I realized after I started talking, and then I was like, Dana's talking about your viewing it on the phone. I realized that. Did you know that you can can have a clear display on your live stream where you don't see the comments? I'm not saying you wouldn't want to see the comments. There you go, Terry. You can swipe away the comments too. Exactly. You can get the comments off so you see the full screen, and then you can also you can swipe to the side. Wait, I guess when the display is clear you can't do that. Oh, I jumped out of the live. You can also do, if you're having a challenge reading the comments, you can swipe to the side. Oh, wait, am I doing this wrong? Oh, y'all, I was just telling you. You can't do that as that's a host thing. I'm sorry. I was trying to show y'all that you can see the comments big, but it's when you're a live host you can do that. Y'all. I was really like, why isn't this working? Sorry, y'all. But yeah, you can clear your display if you want to. You said what is fun in here. You want to see the comments, right? Yeah, Dina, I'm with you. I get it. You know, we get to talking about people. I know sometimes people come in here and are like, what is going on here? First of all, she's not doing anything. And what are they talking about? What is happening? Authenticity holds so much more value than the superficial human inevitabilities. I agree, Agony. And so, despite my insecurity about my mustache, I show up here every day. You said changing your name to Queen of Random. I like that, Dina. Be easy. What's going on? Are you here or are you not here? So, I'll shave the mustache, y'all, so I won't get so caught up in it. Y'all, sometimes I am just really being stupid. The mustache thing is a serious thing, but I don't really... You said you didn't even notice it until I said something, but it's there, right? See? Hello, Be Easy. It's there. So I didn't make it up. Did Be Easy bring chips? Be Easy is the chips, Dana. Be Easy is the sweet barbecue Pringles. You said you like it. I'm getting rid of it. I don't like it. You said, and you know this. All right, y'all. We ran our I ran my mouth. Y'all typed in the comments. True brought it up yesterday. A suggestion for the live, like featuring whoever's comfortable getting featured. And one of the things, because Agony, you had asked a long time ago, and at the time, TikTok Live Studio was reckless with guests in terms of like it just didn't work. But it worked the other day, so I think let's try this. Be Easy's here, Blondie. So we'll start doing some, like, if folks want to come up in the boxes, whether it's the morning or the night, we'll do that. Because I think the boxes are working now. And then, of course, if we bring someone up in the box and it doesn't work, we'll just not do it for right then. I'll figure out what the problem is and come back. You said you love a lady with a mustache. Your PFP is Marilyn Monroe with one. Oh, I didn't even see that. Now, Frank Cigarette, was this your PFP when you came into the room that first day? I don't remember. I could have sworn I saw it. Now I'm being extra and I'm trying to see it. Ah, how did I miss that? I actually love that a lot. I don't know how I missed that. I love that, but I don't love mine. So mine is going away. So screenshot. Mine isn't terrible. I think I saw the different one. You said new. I don't think I saw this one. You had something that was more like an illustration before. That looked, didn't you? Yeah, why do I remember these things? Slightly more illustration looking than this. True. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You know, like I said, it's not gonna stop me from showing up here. It's just because we were talking about it. I try not to think about it because it's not. I could just get rid of it. Okay. Okay, Frank. Frank's cigarette. I'm not. My memory isn't so terrible. Have a blessed day, True. Thank you so much for being here as always. And y'all, we've been here for 2 hours and 14 minutes. You know, I'm about to tell y'all that I'm heading out of here. You know what I need to finish? I only printed 2 prints that day of the iguana, like with the outline. I need to finish those prints, y'all. That was Thursday, so I think I'm gonna try to finish those today. Um, to Create with Love, Carrie A. Thank you for the follow and thank you for liking the live. I like that. I love your nickname. That is lovely. I like the way you did that. I don't even know if you're still in here, but thank you. Take care, M. Yeah, that was a good reminder of what I was doing. I already forgot that I was saying bye to y'all. So I will see you all tomorrow morning. Today's not a night live day. I will see you all tomorrow morning to work. 9 a.m. Eastern, and as always, you know, I gotta think of a I still have to figure out a profound statement to end the live on. But for right now, you all know that I'm grateful for you and I look forward to the awesomeness that this community will put out into the world. Bye, friends. YouTube buddies, I'm out of here. What? Oh. How am I getting a co-host? 2 seconds. Decline. Why is it? The co-host thing stopped me from ending the live. That's so weird. Sorry, y'all. My YT folks, I will see you later. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate you always. I will be back here 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. Probably more carving or maybe some printing. We'll see. But it will be a good time nonetheless. So thank you for being here.